What's going on, everybody? This is Joe, and I am back once again for another Strixhaven School of Mages pre-release pack opening. Specifically, I am here for the second Silverquill pre-release pack opening that we are going to do. This is the second to last opening overall as well. Next week will be Lorehold, the second time through, and that will be it for all 10 of our pre-release pack openings. The other thing notable about this opening is this is the last one where we will be giving away a code. We have done it for, including this video, for the first 9 that we are giving away, and then we are not giving away the 10th because, you know, we can use one as well. We'll talk more about that later. Here is, if you are unfamiliar, what the Silverquill D20 looks like. There's the 20, or the symbol for the 20, for the Silverquill die, and I'll put it over here next to the other one that we have set aside anyway. We have the insert, which has the Silverquill College of Eloquence art on it. Stay tuned for the next one next week, where you will be able to see what all 5 of these look like as a collage connected to one another. That'll be pretty sweet. And hey, you know, to make sure that you find out exactly when that video comes out, please don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell. Here is the divider that they include, also with the Silverquill logo, so that you can separate your deck and your sideboard or whatever else you may be including in your, or holding in your pre-release kit box. We have all the packs as well, including the seeded pack, which will be the first one that we look at. But before we do that, we also have our promo, foil, rare, and our code for Arena, but I'll get to that in a second. I'm going to try to open this package so we can look at that promo, foil, rare a little bit better. That opened very nicely, which is not always the experience that I've had, so that's nice. Here is multiple choice as our rare. Very awesome in foil, by the way, because that blue magic looks really sick. Wow. Yeah, really, really nice. I like that a lot. Plus, multiple choice, sweet card. I mean, notably, if we're doing the Silverquill deck, then we are using black and white, and this is blue. And then black and blue isn't a thing, white and blue isn't a thing, so blue, probably not a color we're going to be able to use in this deck, but who knows. And then, as I said, the code for Arena will be given away at some random point in the video, so definitely stay tuned for that. And then we can move on to our packs. Let's do the seeded pack first. If people are unfamiliar, because these are college-specific pre-release kits, these seeded packs, one of the 6 random packs that you receive is actually seeded, so it contains cards that could go into a white deck, a black deck, or a white-black deck, so that you have more of an opportunity to actually play the colors of the college that you got the pack for. So we start with a Silverquill Pledge Mage, which is a fine card. I like it a lot. Silverquill Campus, obviously super helpful. The Inkling Summoning is a great lesson. Can be left in the sideboard. Obviously, with lessons, you could actually put it main board if you need to, put it in your actual deck. But otherwise, if we get any learn cards, we can be aware that we have at least one viable lesson. Mage Hunter's Onslaught is a fantastic card. I would definitely put it in. Professor's Warning I really enjoy as well. If people watch our streams, by the way, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time every Monday and Friday. Mondays specifically we play MTG Arena. And when we were doing a lot of Strixhaven drafts, we did Silverquill often. I really enjoyed playing Silverquill. So there's Professor's Warning. I like that card a lot. Promising Dust Mage is fine. This one's not as impressive as a lot of the other cards we just opened, but it would probably get in if we needed a creature. A Guiding Voice. Again, this is a card that's fine. Silverquill likes +1/+1 counters, plus it's a learn card. So if we had lessons, obviously we have at least the one. And so if we had a couple, we would definitely look at our learn cards and see what we could do with including this in the deck. Spiteful Squad, I love. We've talked about this many times. I really, really, really like this card a lot. Star Pupil, again, fine card. This is not one of the ones where it's like auto-include, definitely no question, but it's a low drop, it's early, it cares about +1/+1 counters, or sorry, it works with +1/+1 counters, and so this would be quite useful in that regard as well. A Tenured Inkcaster, speaking of working with +1/+1 counters, also a card that I enjoy. This is our first uncommon in the pack. We have a Fracture. I don't love this one as much. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker. Although, if we were looking at this as if we were doing a sealed event, this is an amazing sideboard card. Don't get me wrong. You see any planeswalker, any annoying artifact, any annoying enchantment, this gets in from your sideboard immediately as soon as you can. Otherwise, I would probably not put it mainboard. And then we have a Dueling Coach. This one's good as well. It's a little expensive, but if you need a mana sink for late game, this one would work as pretty nicely. And so our rare or mythic in our seeded pack is a Silverquill Command. Pretty nice card. 4 mana. This is one of the better commands. I think there's like 2 that are worse than this, but regardless, this is pretty sweet. You can pump up something and give it flying. You can bounce a creature, or no, sorry, put a creature from our graveyard back onto the battlefield, which is really good. Draw a card, lose a life, or your opponent sacks a creature. So you get to choose the best 2 things for you at any given moment when you play this. Very, very nice. I appreciate that. Then behind it, we have a Spirit token, which on the other side is an Inkling token, because the Spirit tokens can be made with Spirit Summoning, which can be played for white. And so you can use that in this deck. And then the Inkling, obviously. Then there's a Pest, because that can be made for black with Pest Summoning, or the Inkling on the other side. And then there is a replacement card, stand-in card for your deck for a modal double-faced card if you are playing unsleeved. Then we move on to random packs. These are randomly assorted, so hopefully we get some more things to help with Silverquill. We've gotten some good stuff. I would say there aren't any bombs yet for Silverquill. Well, maybe the command, but I guess no bomby like creatures or anything yet. Biblioplex Assistant is fine. It's better in Lorehold and Prismari. I probably would not include it. A Relic Sloth, obviously not for this deck. Infused with Vitality, same argument. Again, they're both splashable. They're not things that would pull us into that color, but we can be aware of that if we pull a good red or green rare later that would make us want to. A Eureka Moment, definitely not for us. Mage Duel is a good card, and if we are splashing green, I would definitely consider this. It is pretty solid removal, which I do enjoy. Essence Infusion is a good card. I would probably put it in. Again, cares about +1/+1 counters. It gives lifelink so that we can gain some life. Pillar Drop Rescuer is a fine card. This one might get cut early if we need a cut, but if we have enough low drop creatures, this is pretty good. It's just, a 5-mana 2/2 flyer isn't the most compelling thing in the world, but to get something back from our graveyard would be pretty nice. Bury in Books is a good card, not for this deck. By the way, I'll correct myself. I was talking about caring about +1/+1 counters. It's lifelink as well. There's like a couple of different themes that can work just based on the fact that it shares some colors with it shares black with Witherbloom and things like that. So there's a lot of different things that works well with Silverquill, which again is why I really enjoy it as a school. We have Blood Age General. There's the Spirit Summoning. So again, nothing wrong with playing this for 1 white and making a Spirit. If we need a lesson out of our sideboard, we can decide whether a 3/2 Spirit or an Inkling would be better. And we can pick from there if we haven't used any lessons yet. So we'll be aware of this and again, probably keep it in the sideboard, but still. A Team Pennant. So if we find that we have ways to make a lot of tokens, I would definitely put this in. If we don't have ways of making a lot of tokens, I probably wouldn't, just because Equip 3 is a little expensive. But play for 1, equip for 1, if you're equipping it onto creature tokens over and over, very, very nice. We have a Creative Outburst as our second uncommon. Obviously, this is a Prismari card through and through. It doesn't share any colors with Silverquill, so certainly not for our deck, although if you want to talk about some gorgeous art, let's talk about this art. Oh my god, it's so sick. A Wormhole Serpent, again, definitely not for us, but a fine card. And so our rare or mythic in this pack is a Dragon's Guard Elite. So again, is this a reason to splash green? Possibly not. It does care about +1/+1 counters. it's something I would consider, definitely. And I think I would look at that point, I would probably look at if I had a viable 2-color deck, then in just playing Silverquill colors, then I definitely wouldn't put this in. But this is a great card. It's just that, you probably want to get it down early so that you can benefit from all the Magecrafty stuff so that it gets big as quickly as possible. But the double green on the activated ability is a little rough, but we have so many ways of giving +1/+1 counters that if we can get to the double green to double the counters, it would probably be very effective for us. So this is actually kind of a strong candidate. So we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for other things to entice us to play green. Maybe we get Witherbloom Campus or something like that. So our Mystical Archive card is a Divine Gambit. I have opened so many of these stupid Divine Gambits. I despise this Mystical Archive card. I really do. The art is fine, but the card itself is not great, so I would not put this in, even though you could play it for double white. And then behind it is a Pest token. Very nice. So I'm doing this early on. This is the last one of these, as I said, that we are giving away from Strixhaven. Stay tuned to the channel for other pre-release pack openings. If we are doing multiples, obviously, and I'll let you know this, you can only use one code per account on MTG Arena from each individual pre-release pack. So in other words, all Strixhaven pre-release packs, you can only use one code from a Strixhaven pre-release pack for your account. So if you've already used one, don't bother trying to use this one. But also it means that we get to use one of the codes from all these pre-release packs that we open. And then the others we give away to all of you because we really appreciate that you're watching our stuff, that you enjoy what we do. And so this is our way of saying thank you. And also, as we usually ask, if you do get this code, if it does work for you, shout it out in the comments. Let us know that you got it and it did work so that we can congratulate you and so that your fellow commenters know not to waste their time. But thank you so much for watching our stuff. Obviously, this video is not over yet, so, let's see what else we can get. Speaking of Silverquill, here is a Killian pack. I could maybe open it. There we go. Okay, another Biblioplex Assistant to start. Thanks. I talked about how much I love this card. We have a Relic Sloth again, an Infused with Vitality again. Okay, same 3 cards to start. Field Trip. That's a good card. Probably not for us, because again, if green is getting into this deck at all, it's probably a splash color. And if it's a splash color, you're not using your splash color to go get more of your splash color. So while a very good card, probably not going to make it in regardless. Unwilling Ingredient almost certainly makes it in. Very good card, early drop. Quite nice. Another Guiding Voice. We do know that we have 2 lessons that are playable into or out of this deck. And so 2 Guiding Voices, if that's the only way that we have to learn, still totally fine, puts counters on things and gets us those other cards, those summonings. So I'll be aware of that. Arcane Subtraction, not for us, plus I don't love it regardless. I mean, it's a learn card, so that's why it's good. Another Blood Age General, no thank you. Fractal Summoning, again, this one's not for us and can stay in the sideboard regardless. Even if we were splashing green, I guess technically if we played a learn card and had double green, we could debate getting this, but we have 2 other viable options, and I probably would not, if we don't get any other lessons, I probably would not put 3 learn cards in the deck unless I felt really compelled to, because obviously for learn you can also discard a card to draw a card. But regardless, this will probably stay in the sideboard. Another lesson in Mercurial Transformation. I don't like this card on a good day, and that's not for this deck regardless, so that's our first uncommon. Expressive Iteration for another Prismari uncommon. Is a very good card, but not for us. And a Go Blank. This card is fine. I don't even love this one. This might get in, especially if we need Magecraft things, but yeah, I really don't love Go Blank. Then our Rare or Mythic is a Lorehold command. So we have Silverquill command, now we have Lorehold command. That's rough. I don't know that this really makes me sit here and go, oh, well, we're splashing red, but it does make me annoyed that we have so many different options, because we have a blue rare, a Silverquill rare, a green rare, and now a Lorehold rare. Very frustrating. Behind this, our Mystical Archive card is a Duress. I don't love Duress usually for limited. I guess for sealed, maybe you could. I'm not super compelled to put this in. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, as always. The art is insane. That's not a question. But whether it gets in is kind of is a question. Behind it, I think we have a foil. We do. It is a foil. Wow. Wow. Look at how pretty that is. Whoa. Look at that foiling pattern. Sick. Obviously not for this deck. That's not even what I'm talking about. But look at the foiling pattern. Wow. That is gorgeous. I'm going to have to show Amy that when she gets home later. That is fantastic. Gorgeous, gorgeous art on that explosive welcome. Nicely done. I'm super happy with that pull. Obviously not for the deck, but still, in general, happy to have that card. And a spirit token behind that again. We have a Quintorius pack. Speaking of the spirits, Quintorius likes spirits. We have... Wow. Okay, lots of lore-holdy things. We have Make Your Mark. This could go in, because it can be played for a white. And then we could get spirits out of it. I mean, at this point, we don't have a ton of Silverquill stuff to help us out regardless, so I would consider it, definitely. We have a Stonebound Mentor, another lore hold card. We have another Biblioplex Assistant. That's 3 for 3 in the packs that, well, I guess it could be in the seeded pack, so whatever. We're 3 for 3 on the random packs. We have a Leyline Invocation, a Lash of Malice. Thank God, something reasonable. I really like this card, so it definitely gets in. Study Break could also get in. In fact, I prefer this Learn card to the Guiding Voice, so I would, at this point, replace one of the Guiding Voices with this, just in the deck that I'm making in my head, right? This gets in as opposed to one of the Guiding Voices, and then if we open more lessons, we could, put it back in if we really felt compelled to. A Reject, I don't love this card regardless, and it's definitely not for this deck. Enthusiastic Study is fine, but it's definitely not something I would splash for. It is a Learn card. Another Field Trip, my goodness. A Basic Conjuration is our rare. So again, we've had this happen before where I guess you can get lessons as rares, or rare lessons, and then it, because we did that with Teachings of the Archaics last time. So maybe I just forgot that can happen. So here is an extra rare in this pack for us. It is Basic Conjuration. It's a fine card. Again, I guess we can look at green, right? Because now we have Dragon's Guard Elite and Basic Conjuration. It can be put in the main deck, or it can be put in the sideboard, or kept in the sideboard. And now that we have at least 3 viable Learn cards, it's definitely something to consider. So sure, we can look at splashing green. Behind the Basic Conjuration, our first uncommon is Kelpie Guide, not for this deck. Closing Statement. Thank you. Goodness. Been waiting for so long for good Silverquill stuff. So yes, very good card. I enjoy it. I would definitely play this, no question. I would probably play as many of these as I opened, to be fair. And a Grinning Ignis, I think this card is fine. It's cool to see it reprinted from Future Sight, finally. But yeah, it's definitely not for this deck. And then our rare or mythic is a Manifestation Sage. I don't think we're splashing this much green, nor do I think that it's a good enough card to do that for. So no such luck. And then our Mystical Archive card is a Village Rites. This gets in. I mean, I'm not jumping for joy about having it, but it's a fine card. Serviceable black card. It definitely would get in the deck. No question. And then behind it, another stand-in card if you are playing unsleeved. 2 more packs to go. I feel like this is a much weaker opening so far. Zimone pack. So hopefully that, would incentivize the... Oh my god. All right, well, I mean, we have a playset of Biblioplex Assistants in the pool. That's something. Obviously, it's not... Playsets don't matter in Limited. Don't get me wrong. It's just, a 4 of means a playset and constructed, but still. Here's another Relic Sloth and another Infused with Vitality. 3 packs that start off with the same 3 cards. Oh, and Eureka Moment. So this is the same as the first pack still. Unwilling Ingredient. That's cool. I'll take a second one of those. This is very repetitive and frustrating. Here's another Guiding Voice. A lot of duplicates. Another Arcane Subtraction. A lot of learn cards. A lot of learn cards. Guiding Voices, Arcane Subtractions, Field Trips, so many learn cards. Another Blood Age General, that's 3 of those. Yeah, this kit was really messed up. A Professor of Zoomancy is a fine card. I mean, if we're splashing green, this doesn't get in. But if we're going more heavily green, then I guess it's a fine card. Expanded Anatomy is a good lesson. I would definitely consider that. It gives counters, right? So that helps us out. So sure. Shadewing Laureate. Thank God. It's our first uncommon. And it's a pretty good card for Silverquill. It definitely gets in. Definitely. We have an Ardent Dust Speaker. This does not get in. It's okay, too. I mean, it works for the Lorehold decks. And speaking of Lorehold, we have the Lorehold Apprentice as our last uncommon, which means, in this pack, which means that our rare or mythic is a Wandering Archaic. I would definitely play this card. It's very good. We need playables regardless, so sure. And then it flips into and Explore the Vastlands. Now, Wandering Archaic is better than Explore the Vastlands by quite a bit, so I would probably only play that side, but still, really happy to have that card because it's, playable in a deck no matter what colors we're playing. And then our Mystical Archive is a rare Mystical Archive in Urza's Rage. I love this art so very much. It is not for this deck, but it is a sick piece of art, and I'm happy to have, I think, another one of these. I think I have one somewhere. Anyway, behind that is a Fractal token as well. And we have one pack to go. It does have Killian on it, so maybe it'll give us some Silverquill luck. Fingers crossed, because I'm not as impressed with this opening as I've been, in fact, with some of the other ones that we've done, which, you'll see the playlist, I'm sure, linked at the end. Hey, you know what? We were missing our 4th Relic Sloth, right? So here it is. There's another Infused with Vitality, too. Yeah, and there's another Eureka moment. God, these packs. Was this like at the end of the sheet and they just needed to, fill it out? Here's a Burying Books, another Blood Age General, another Leyline Invocation. Here's a Crushing Disappointment. That's something different. I'll take it, happily. A Beaming Defiance, also very good. Definitely gets in. Wow, okay. A little bit better. Vortex Runner, no thank you, unfortunately, because it's a great card. Pest Summoning is fine. I would absolutely keep that in the sideboard. Double Black, we do have a lot of learn cards, right? We talked about it, so this would be a possibility. Another Dueling Coach as our first uncommon. Sure, this is not like my favorite card for Silverquill, but especially with how much we need it right now, I would definitely put it in. Or put both of them in, I should say. We have a Humiliate. I think this is a fine card. That would get in as well. Absolutely. And our third uncommon is a Stormkiln Artist. It was definitely too much to wish for all of them to be at least partially Silverquill. But that's totally fine. Not upset about that because we got 2 pretty good uncommons. Now, how about our rare or mythic? Does that help us out? It's our last one. And it is a double major. Well, even if we're splashing green, this is also blue. So, no. This art is sick, though. I don't know that I remember seeing this art, or at least not recently. That's really cool. I like that. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Quandrix in this. Manifestation Sage, obviously basic conjurations, mono green, so is Dragon's Guard Elite. We got the multiple choice, we got this. A lot of Quandrix rares, I tell you what. All right, our Mystical Archive card as well is a Thrill of Possibility. This kit is so all over the place, it's crazy. I mean, what would I even play? Not that this is relevant one way or another, but we didn't open any mythics today, which is unfortunate, but whatever. That's just greed talking. What direction would we go? I still think Silverquill makes the most sense, only because we haven't seen a ton of other things going on. We did get multiple Eureka moments, so maybe we go Quandrix. Maybe I'm just, because I'm the Quandrix guy as well, maybe I'm just biased. So let me know in the comments below, what deck would you play out of this kit? I have no idea. This kit sucks. And by sucks, I mean we got good cards, but to try to make a singular deck out of it, it's rough. And that's what I mean by that. So don't get me wrong. The cards are kind of cool, but how do we make something synergistic? It's a little tough. So behind the thrill of possibility is a gorgeous elemental token. I just love this art so much. I don't even know what to leave you looking at. Hey, you know what? Let's leave you looking at the colorless card so that I can say, hey, you should let me know in the comments, what type of a deck would you play if this was your kit that you opened at pre-release for Strixhaven? Hopefully everybody has enjoyed this series. Like I said, we have one more to go. Amy and I will be back next week or next time with more Strixhaven School of Mages pre-release packs. In fact, the final being the Lorehold pack. So definitely come back for that. You will see what the collage looks like first, and then we can talk about the maybe the buy-a-box promo as well, or the promo as well. So thank you all so very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell. As I mentioned, liking and sharing helps us out a lot as well. So thank you for doing that. And hey, we have other channels too. You can check down in the description box below for those. We would really appreciate that. But for now, from us here at the Geek for All family of channels, I've been Joe. Thank you so much for watching. And as we always say, in whichever video of ours you watch next, we will see you all next time. Thanks, everybody.